Hi, I'm Tim Cool and this is Cooler. Let me tell you a story. Before I knew how to upload silly videos on YouTube, I enjoyed cutting some random leaves in the countryside, drying them off, and then mixing them with some proper tea. It was a hobby of mine. I thought, and I still think, it's nice when you manage to put together a good mixture of herbs and leaves and make some unique tea out of it. So, I dried raspberry leaves, apple tree leaves, and so on. Even some nettle. I found empty jars and started stuffing them with my weird tea blends. To me, an 8-year-old me, came a genius idea. What if I could sell those jars to my parents in our hallway? Remember, I'm no entrepreneur. I've never had this passion for business ventures. But that time, I felt it was a real opportunity. I created this added value by mixing this stuff and putting it in a borrowed jar, so I'm eligible for some revenue. I demanded something like 50 cents for every jar, and not to brag, but it was a huge success. My parents were so proud of me. My grandma came, said I was a handsome, nice boy, and bought 3 of my jars. I should point out, my grandma is a coffee person, not a tea person. Still, she was impressed. After all this, I had no other option than to consider myself a new Russian Rockefeller. But this is not the end, of course. One day my uncle Yuri came. I suppose he must have heard that my tea was a great hit, and he wanted to purchase some for himself. And before he left, he leaned over, a small transparent bag in his hand, and he whispered to me, "Okay, take this, it's good stuff. You mix it with your stuff and it will be even great. I will get you some new customers. Take care, Tim." I took his transparent bag with some dried leaves in it, and I thought to myself, wow, my cool uncle really digs my passion. I'm so glad I have such relatives. So I put those leaves in one of my jars and forgot about them for days. Then I got a call from my lovely uncle. "Hey, remember the stuff I gave you? You still have it?" Yeah, my business is slow. Last time that bought it was like a week ago. And my uncle Yuri, as you imagine, told me to give this jar of mine to a guy who would come in the evening in exchange for some money. At that moment, I knew my tea business is becoming serious. You know, it's no longer limited to our apartment inhabitants and, my relatives. So this weird guy came with a beard and husky voice. He bought my stupid jar with my uncle's leaves for $90, and I was really impressed. My uncle Yuri called me once again that day, and he asked me if he could get his card for that. I was 8 years old. I had no idea what the card is, so I responded sure. He came back to our apartment, took like half the money and said, "We are a good team, you and I. We would do many great things together, you'll see." And we did, for some time. I took his magic leaves, sold them to strangers, and gave him back the money. One day my mom asked me who the guy outside was. I said, "One of Yuri's friends with a lot of money. All of them enjoy my tea. I'm so happy. You should be proud of me, Mom." The next thing I know, my uncle Yuri is in jail for keeping drugs in his pocket. Of course, I didn't realize what drugs are, but I lost my supply of raw materials. I was saving money for tickets to Disneyland, so I just wanted my uncle to get back from his vacation in so-called jail resort. He has disappeared completely. There is no trace of him to be found. I asked my mom and my dad about Uncle Yuri, and they said, "Who? There is no Uncle Yuri. There never was any Uncle Yuri. The only physical thing of my childhood business, which remains, is almost $550 of cash, which, to be honest, is not enough for complete Disneyland's adventure. With merchant stuff. This is my story. Keep it imaginative. Until the next time. Bye.